Well, Muzi, have we figured this out, or do we have to do anything with this compendium here?
I'm gonna have it open just so I can when I have to say.
I'd like to be in the call with Peanut and Amusi. I'll mute myself, but I want to just hear them talk.
Yeah.
That's okay. When I have to call out the people we're partnered with, I want to be able to.
Wait, all I'm talking to is Peanut and Amusi. What am I fucking?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I figure both of you guys will just stay in the call and just mute your mics, and we'll be good to go.
Yeah. Oh, only you're casting?
No, Super's here too.
I'm Super.
Sorry, Shawnee and Super.
Oh.
You and Shawnee will both be in here, I assume. And
What is Shawnee doing? He's doing admin?
He's running everything else, yeah.
Right,
oh, yeah, he's streaming. I fucking knew that.
He's
Sorry.
streaming, he's running admin, yeah.
I'm tweaking.
Thankfully, because that's what we struggled so much with the last time, so we appreciate it very much. Okay, so but Muzi, you know what to do with this stuff. You're gonna handle that, yeah.
Sure.
Okay, I mean, has there been any more discussion Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Radiant Clash Cup. We are happy to have you here today. My name is Warlord Peanut, and I'm here along with my co-caster Amusey. Say hi, Amusey.
Hello, everybody.
We are here just to get this match started, but before we do that, we want to thank some of our partners and sponsors today. Amusey, can you help me out with that?
Yeah, for sure. We'd like to thank Fluid for connecting your communities together to collaborate and enhance their content creation across multiple platforms.
I'd like to thank, we'd like to thank Influence Connections, helping content creators and organizations to grow their brand by providing top quality post-production videos and graphics.
Of course, Ember Studios for bringing professional broadcast to your next event, while specialist in match commentary, live production, and product training.
And Challenger Mode. Take on some of the fiercest competition there is by competing in competitive events held on the Challenger Mode website. Or, if you're an organizer, host your next competitive event with them using their in-house organizer tools. Now, we are... Sorry, go ahead, Musi.
I, for one, am very excited for these games. What are you feeling, Peanut?
I'm very excited as well. You know, we've seen a bunch of matches go on today. We're coming up on our semifinals here, so we're just getting those matches ready for us today. We're going to be running our second semifinal of the day and then our final, both best of ones for us. So yeah, just getting those games ready for us. Have you heard anything about these teams just yet?
Not much. Just know I've been watching the bracket go. I've seen the scores going, and I've seen them progress through, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
All right, so we're just getting in from our production that it is going to be our first streamed game, but our second semifinal of the day is going to be between two teams. First, we have Team Justice versus Team PredG, or Predator, as they'll be going by. Should be a good matchup today.
Should indeed. And what do you think we're going to see from these teams today? You think we're going to see some of the newer meta, some of the older meta, something we've never seen before? How do you think this is going to go?
You know, we're coming into this match pretty blind indeed, so I am hoping to see just a fantastic game of Valorant, you know, from a couple of Immortal players here. We're just hoping to see some good competition.
I'm definitely looking for a Yoru. I like watching Yorus play, seeing where they teleport and where they run to and their ult and everything. So definitely hoping at least one Yoru somewhere along the line.
Yeah. Yes, the Yoru would be very cool, especially with some of his changes recently. We're also looking at some changes coming out of Phoenix. So we're hoping that maybe, you know, who knows, maybe we'll see some Phoenix in there as well. But looks like we are about to get into Agent Select here. Fascinatingly enough, I can actually see it. We are going into Ascent, starting off with Predator Gaming as defending on Ascent and Justice attacking. And we can see these agents starting to come together here. So we got a lot of chamber hovers. I like to see that. It looks like, well, to fill that role of an initiator, it looks like in place of that, at least on the side of Predator Gaming, we are going to see both a Fade as that true, like, Sova replacement, along with a KO to kind of assist with that. So we'll see how that plays out. On the side of Justice, however, we also have that Fade locked in. KO is being hovered at the moment as they discuss this. You know, they are trying to figure out, it looks like we've got a pretty even setup here, you know. Chamber, Fade, KO on both sides. Smoke setup is a bit different, but very the same in Duelist, you know. We're looking at a somewhat mirrored comp here. Now even closer to a mirrored comp.
Select your agent.
I saw an Astra hover there for a second, got excited. I'm an Astra main. I love watching other people play Astra. But it looks like Cuz is going to switch over to Omen, and we might see a Phoenix here. Last second switches over to KO.
Yeah, that Phoenix would have been exciting, but it would have definitely thrown off their comp a little bit. Now, with that KO, like I said, we do have basically a mirrored matchup here. The only difference being the two duelists. We have a Jet on the side of Justice and a Raze on the side of Predator Gaming. Should make the team pretty even, which makes for a pretty good game on Ascent. This is, in my opinion, one of the best made, and one of the most balanced maps in this game.
Paper thin walls.
Paper thin walls, indeed. We like that. We like getting random kills, Mizzy. That makes for exciting gameplay and good clips on Twitch.
True.
Exposure, my friend. Exposure.
Let me see. Predator Gaming coming up on. Or I'm sorry, Predators on defense. My bad. We're looking at Justice on attack here, and it looks like they're going to be going more for a B push, as all of them are over there. It's a typical thing you see on first round attack, and only 2 people. We might see a strong push in. See if they get sight.
I seem to be having struggles loading into this game, so I'm going to ask you to take this for a little bit while I get into this game.
For sure. We see just a typical smoke coming through, and nobody really pushing through much. Some flashes, some util, just trying to get any kind of space they can before they do the first push in, waiting for smokes to go down, just getting really set up to do the push. And it looks like they're kind of rotating over through mid, over to A, doing a little fake here. General's gonna get a pick off on Django, and Tiger getting one on Pin Dog.
Take hold.
Going down, looks like Justice still trying to figure out which site they're gonna go to. A little scared to see what's going on.
Apologies that I'm still working this out. I'm not loading into the game just yet.
And Justice is down to 2 players, and again they haven't taken much space on site yet because they're getting shut out.
30 seconds left.
Now it looks like Predator Gaming is going to know where they are. At least one of them is.
Cover going out.
Slowly going into Speedway, taking a few
Last
shots.
player
122
standing.
up. He goes down. 1v0 for the first part. And as they get set up for the next round, it looks like it's going to be closer to an A push, but Chamber is going to go over to B. Looks like he's trying to get a pick in mid or something. Either way, he's getting set up to start the game.
Bomb buddy out.
See, they're gonna, this looks like it's going to mainly be a mid push. Right for the going deep into mid, and Predator Gaming is really holding back on the site, making sure they don't give up any space that's not needed, not pushing out any farther than they should. Envy throwing.
Bring them spike down mid.
Tiger. Hindog taking out Tiger, and it looks like they're going to be pushing into tree now, really trying to commit here in the final couple minutes.
One enemy remaining.
Alexander taking
Spike
that
down.
out.
Okay, who's got the snacks?
Predator Gaming taking the second round, 2-0. The next round starts, we see a hard B push here. They're really trying to get into sight. They doing all the stuff out, trying to find out where it is, and it looks like the Predator only has 1 person on B side. They could really take it here. Doug's there playing out in Boathouse, just really trying to hold it in, not really knowing where anybody is. He gets in a fight with Spooky, and Spooky takes him out. Django down the door, and they have the
Spike
sight.
planted.
They were now playing for retake in a 4-5. Hen Dog going down in Speedway. MB kind of closing in on
Last player
Alexander going
standing.
down, and it's now a 1v3 on the retake, taking out Alexander, and it looks like Justice is taking their first round against Predators. 2v1, things are starting to heat up.
Heat up indeed, as I finally have loaded into this game. My apologies to my caster, my apologies to the audience. We are into this game. What did I miss, my friend?
Oh, you missed quite a bit actually. Quite a bit, but it is 2v1 now that you are back, and welcome back to round 4. My play-by-play caster friend.
Yes, that was much appreciated. But we are now on into this game. You know, we have seems like we have seen somewhat of an evenly matched game here, as we are now into what looks like
Can't use
kind of a seems like a full buy on both sides here. So we're gonna see a lot of a pushing, a lot of movement towards A side here. Looks like we got a lot of movement towards A side here.
For
You
sure.
want to
and I'd like
play?
see,
Let's play.
Justice is playing a little bit farther back. They
Bring
know
them
that
down.
Predator Gaming has been not really pushing out at all, so they're just trying to get a pick before they push in, try and get any info they can before they figure out where they're going to go, because right now they're just getting locked out of sight.
Now, for someone who may have just come into this game, or may, you know, who knows how recently they just started watching this game, what can you tell me about the duelists of this game? Have we been seeing a lot of activity, or have they been pretty mellow?
We have definitely seen a lot of aggression from Alexander, and he's really
There.
been connecting with his shot. He's been playing really good, and I'm excited to see what he's doing in the future.
Well, here they go. Now Predator comes on in, and they are, sorry, Predator is
30
going to be
seconds
on the
left.
rotate here. Indeed, Predator comes in, and they're going to try and take this site down. Hendog trying to take somebody out. They take out Dunk's arrow. And we're going to have a 4v5 in favor of Predator.
Found one.
Justice gets another, and now we're back down to a 3v3 here. Here comes Alexander coming through this market position, trying to get something done. He's pushed out by this chamber now. Not going to be able to do much. He gets out with a blast pack. He doubles it up. Now Django's going to get that trade-off, and Hendog goes down. We're going to see what happens. Django's going to try and do something here. The running gun with the Spectre works out. And we have one last left. That Tempest in the backside trying to do something. Tempest does not get it done as Tyre brings it around. Well played on the side of Predator.
We saw Alexander came out with those satchels, and it looks like Hendog did not really know what to do there once that happened, because he was trying, because then 2 other people peeked him, and then he's sitting there, and then they pushed in, and Django switches guns, and it just the aggression. I love it.
The aggression was quite active there, and I think that's really what did them in. That double peek from the Fade and the Jet there really did take that chamber by surprise.
And it looks like Justice is going to set up for a B push with KO down, looking towards mid, and only 2 people on B. We might see another retake play here from Gaming.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but Predator Django holding this angle tight. He does get that first pick. That chamber is gonna go down. Hendog not gonna be able to do much for this round. Django now staying in this boathouse position, getting the flick off. What a beautiful shot right before the Prowler comes in, taking to name Justice down. Django holding this site down for Justice Gaming.
Justice has fled to mid, trying to find more picks. Again, having a little bit of trouble getting past the halfway point on defender side, but they're holding their own as much as they can, and they're doing a great job of doing it.
They are. And now Justice, having regrouped, is trying to make their way through mid. KO's going to break some of that chamber utility down mid to try and pull somebody in. They're going to try and make their way towards A site now through this tree position. Jet and Omen running in here, doing their best to get through. They're not getting peeked by anybody through that smoke. And they're going to get this spike down, but Kaz getting absolutely ambushed by Envy. Envy takes that down, but Tempest responding quickly. Going to get a little bit crossed up here now, and the rest of Justice is going to go down. Predator holding onto that site very well.
Predator's definitely been doing some great defense, and again, I know I keep saying it, but they're just holding back and waiting for people to come. They know that they can't plant anywhere but site, so they're just waiting until they get on site before they do anything, and that's the way you should play defense, and they're doing it great.
They are. They're not getting pulled in too many directions by pushing too much on defense. But now we do see Justice Gaming attempting to push. Looks like we're going to have a full man rush through this B site here.
Where are you?
Justice throw the utility out, but Django getting taken down. Tempest holding this site down. Django's going to get another pick here if they don't flash him off. He gets one, but isn't able to get that pick off. Teleports out, so he is going to be safe. And Predator going to let Justice have this site.
Spike planted.
He was just staring over him, dog.
Alexander cleaning up for his team as much as he can. Predator holding this, taking this site with ease. Another 4-man surviving win on the side of Predator.
These retakes we're seeing from Predator Gaming is just they're beautiful. Chef's kiss even. Just they get in, they slowly execute, mow down anybody in their way, and they get the spike defused at the end.
They do indeed. You know, we are seeing a lot of work coming in from Django. Him being our chamber, he's holding these angles with absolute, just like a rock, really.
Mm-hmm.
Not letting anybody pass him, and if they don't smoke him off or flash him, he's going to continue to get these picks throughout the map, really.
Now I'm seeing spike on the ground. That's generally a sign of somebody defaulting in the map, or the team is spread out across the map. So hopefully a little bit of default and a stalemate in mid as both Omens throw their smokes in front of each other before they go in.
Justice is going to get pushed off here a little bit in this A position. They're going to continue to aggress, see if they can pull anything out of Predator Gaming.
Spike still on the ground, we're pushing out. That means any kind of space they can take is worth it at this point, just so they can get set up to make their move when they finally make their push into whichever site they decide to push, which is looking more towards like A, which could be a bit of a problem just because there's more people leaning towards A on Predator Gaming, but you know, their fighting skills are to be reckoned with.
Django getting out of there before the KO knife comes in. No, Hendog is trying to creep in. He's going to get a shoulder on Alexander, but got him out. Now he's in a bad position. Tiger helps out his teammate, and Alexander Tiger going to take another for Predator on this spot. Kaz pushing in, getting it to get smoked out. Confused as all hell, but somehow him and General Hooray get the kill. General flipping on them. And Justice have taken this site seemingly out of nowhere.
Seen Django do some amazing things with this op, and I'm curious to see if he can do it again coming into site. It's 2v3.
Django now knifed off, not able to teleport out. He's going to hold this KO down. Trying to get as much as he can now. Dunk Zera has gotten this pick off.
Last player standing.
But Tempest leaving Django as the last one alive. Django pulling out the Headhunter, doing what he can, but Tempest sees where he's at, getting him through the box. What a beautiful shot from Tempest. And Justice get a second one on the board for themselves.
Yeah, you really saw the team play there as Tempest was holding behind the generator, knowing his teammate had his back. So when Django finally came out, they knew exactly where he was, and they were able just to play. Or Tempest was able to play around that and get that wallbang.
They were indeed. You know what was interesting from that as well is I saw Tempest. I'm not sure who else was alive there, but coming out from, they were holding from A main as well. So even if Tempest was unable to get that kill, I'm sure the one from A main was going to be able to peek out around there and get that trade off as well. It was a pretty nice setup coming in from Predator.
Was indeed, and we have a timeout, first timeout of the game.
Sorry,
What
not
do you think
Predator,
they're talking about in
Justice.
the timeout right now?
Well, you know, we're looking at this, and Justice, that is the second round coming out for Justice. Predator might be thinking that they don't want to let anything snowball, so they're calling a timeout. Who knows? It could just be a pee break. I know I saw something in the chat before we were getting the game ready that someone had to pee. I hope they did before the game. Who knows what this could be?
No, personally, I'm thinking if I am on Justice side, I'm talking to my team. I'm telling them we need to get more aggressive because sitting back and kind of just waiting for them to come out isn't really working. So like I'm thinking, I'm telling my team we need to push, and that's I'm seeing a really heavy B side here. Maybe we do push because I don't know if the same play keeps working.
You're right. It will be interesting though because if they do choose to push in, they're gonna be pushed into a pretty heavy stack here. But Django not getting punished for his aggressive peek here. He's down to 10 health, but I mean, what an aggressive peek from him. Now the rest of Justice seeing that pick from Django is gonna leave, not wanting to deal with his opper.
Tiger here might get a haunt out. He knows at least one is in mid, and they are definitely going for an A push through here. Little do they know Predator Gaming is actually held out more towards A.
Ooh, but Envy taking Spooky Justice out over on the other side. Gonna give Justice a little bit more of questions. They don't have that map control over on A site now. They don't have that lurk. Tempest now looking through mid with Omen, seeing what they can peek around. Tiger holding this angle tightly. Oh, Alexander gets smoked off, so he's not going to be able to help out his teammate, but that doesn't matter. Alexander and Tiger take care of the pushers in mid, and General Hooray goes down as well. Predator get a flawless after their timeout. I would say that's a successful timeout, wouldn't you?
Successful timeout indeed, and we saw them holding defense even better than they were before. But Justice, I still think we need a little more aggression. But I understand the fear, pushing into a team where they're holding these angles just almost flawlessly makes it very daunting to push in. I know at least for me, it makes it daunting to push in. But we're seeing a little 5-stack over here on B, and maybe we do see a push finally. There is only 2 on B, so we could see a whole take here.
Face your fear!
Well, they're going in with the Fade ult, so we're sure to see something. Django holding it out, though, taking Hendog out again, and Django is more. Here he goes. He does get the KO through the wall there. And Alexander going for another. Predator are holding this B site down. They do get the res out on KO, and we are going to see them back to a 5v3. But Django knows that the KO is still there. Dunkzera taking out Hooray with a grenade.
One enemy remaining.
And Kaz is able to get one down with his frenzy, but not enough. Tempest, again, a little bit of a trade. Damaging the utility just a little bit. Not enough.
Yeah, we did see the aggression, and then Predator Gaming started throwing smokes out, and it kind of stopped the push, and then Django took an op shot at one person and ended up hitting another, and then that slowed down with the double ult, and then I think the push kind of just fell apart. But I'm thinking we're gonna see something similar over here on A side, which might be a little harder as Predator Gaming is leaning more towards A with their defense. But
You want to play? Let's play.
Predator is holding this A site, and look at that grenade. Does take out Justice. I'm not sure. Oh, must have been the Seize as well. The nade Seize combo from our Fade and Raze here. Nice play from Alexander and Tiger. I think I saw that in the VCTs. Now, Justice Gaming is going to continue to hold down this site, or lean towards this A site as Hendog is pushing up in through mid. Looks like he's going to try and get a little bit in tree as General Hooray is the only one pushing through into this A main.
We see Justice to back down in mid, where we've seen them play quite often when they're unsure what to do, just trying to bounce between the two sides and get a little bit of space somewhere.
General Hooray trying to catch a timing. He does indeed, and Tiger then going around. Tempest taking down Tiger. Tempest now the only one left, though, is Alexander throwing grenades and just getting kills left and right. What a play from this Raze.
I think there comes a point down where when you're last alive, you kind of decide, am I going to save or am I just going to try and take one out with me? And I think Tempest was definitely just trying to take out one with him. And he did take that one, and he went for another, and Alexander was just a little too quick with it. But another round for Predator Gaming, and it's 8-2. Looks like we're going to see a bit of a fake here from KO. I'm sure we're going to see some util here to try and drag somebody over which means we'll see a delayed push on B from Justice.
Looks like we are, but we're also getting a little bit of presence in mid. KO now backing off of this A site is they're seeing a lot of presence in this A site. The rest of Justice camping out behind B main. Although if they push into this B garage spot, they're going to run into a gnarly crossfire. Justice, on the other hand, peeking in on this B site. Here comes the push on B main. Dunkzera getting the first, and Django getting an angle on the second. Very nice from him.
Drop the spike.
Cuz coming in for a risky teleport.
Oh,
he doesn't quite find him, and Django takes him out, and then it rolls down, and it's back down to Justice having one person.
General Hooray doing what he can, but he is left all alone once again in a position that most of these Justice members can say they have found themselves in many times, a 4v1 position.
30
They
seconds left.
are going to have to use more of this utility for each other if they want to see this working out. I see a lot of them peeking around corners that, just peeking into this op. You know, this round not so much, but in other rounds we have seen that. And we got to be careful of that, especially with Django on this team.
I think if I'm
10 seconds left.
General Hooray, I'm just sitting back and shooting my gun, and Django's gonna get the final pick on him, make it 9-2. Will we see the 9-3 curse this run though?
Last round
We might
in
see it
the
at
half.
9-3, but I wouldn't call it a curse. You know, it's for teams like this, we've seen such dominance coming out of Predator. These rounds from Justice have been yes, they have been, you know, pretty nice wins, but I'm seeing a lot of dominance from this Justice team, from this Predator team. If they continue it on attack, I don't see much happening either side of Justice game.
Definitely a big bloodbath coming up on A. Just hanging outside A main.
So they are hanging outside as Envy tries to get set up here, tries to hold the discipline corner, does get taken out, but Tiger gets one in return. Tiger gonna go back up to heaven and use that Prowler. Prowler gives him a little bit more information. Kaz is gonna get double hit by that. Lots of just gonna crouch underneath. Does not want to get touched. Justice finally taking their time to put the spike down. Didn't want to do it if they could here. The rest of the team now assuming that most of the players are coming through from heaven, not realizing that Django's coming in on the flank with that Champion's Vandal. He's got one down. He's looking for a second. He pulls out his ult to get the third. And he doesn't get the last one, but the rest of his team cleans it up for him. That is going to be a 10-2 half on the side of Predator Gaming.
We saw a really good site execute from Justice. I think they deserve credit for that. Just it came around and Django took the flank, and then they waited until everybody was ready, and then once the time was right, they started pushing in, and they caught him from all angles, and I think that's where the downfall of Justice happened. But I am very anxious to see what Predator Gaming is going to do on attack, see if it's going to be more of the same, or let's see if Justice maybe has a few tricks up their sleeve for defense.
They might just, but you know, looking at Predator, we did see a lot of, you know, let's say co-working between our Fade and our Rays, Tiger and Alexander. I'd love to see them push together and see if they can get some nice picks. Looks like we are going to see a little bit of a split push coming in on the A side, looking at Cat and looking at A main.
I'm definitely a little more heavy on the mid side as they're pushing in. Looks like they're definitely going to go A here, trying to clear out tree.
Justice is going to get that info that they're peeking, but Predator is going to say, who cares about the info? They're just going to continue going. General Hooray does take a pick down, tries to hold it down. They close the door to stop him. Interesting play, not something you see very often, but that is going to push Predator off. And Predator is now going to back off, and looks like they're going to play a little bit towards mid.
This might actually end up working in their favor because Justice is not quite yet on B side. So if they can get on and take site, they might just have it. But I don't know if they're. It looks like they're stepping out of mid, maybe going back to A. A little bit of fake, a little bit of hesitation we're seeing from.
Spike down mid.
Justice getting some beautiful picks off on the Predator X players in the middle of site. Looking
30
for
seconds
more
left.
here, but no more is to be found. The rest are
One
going
enemy
towards
remaining.
We're down to one person on Predator Gaming. Alexander's coming up on General. Ray's gonna get the pick.
Alexander getting one, but not getting another, and Justice now taking that pistol round, a very important round for them.
You can
As they-
almost hear Predator Gaming say my how the turntables. As Predator Gaming came down to one person left on attack, looking for a way to come out with a win.
They were, but unfortunately, that round was looking a little tough for them. That pistol round, as I like to say, those rounds can get a little 50-50, but they're gonna come back out swinging now. Now with a little bit of a save coming out on the Predator X side. They're going to see what they can do on this attack. A lot of presence towards A and a lot of presence going up Cat. Oh, we've got a lot going up Cat. And Justice getting a very nice flank. His whole team knows what's up. They know what to do here. Justice going to try and get this pick. Alexander going to go down. And General getting just an absolute cleanup on the side of Justice. Predator X not knowing what hit him and then finishing it off with a knife. What a great play from Justice.
Justice, they really brought it out on defense. There must have been some kind of pep talk in between the two halves where they kind of got together and were like, this is it. We're not going out this easily. We're not going out on a 10-2.
They are not going out on a Tetsu. That is for sure.
I'm starting to see a real game here.
Let's make some chaos.
A real game indeed. As Justice continue to try something with their aggression, or as Predator Predator X still try something out with their aggression.
Seeing a mid push here from Predator X Gaming, and we've seen a little bit of success from them taking mid. They definitely are good at taking space on mid, and Justice just kind of holding back, waiting to see where they're going to go before they make their move, it looks like.
Cause trying to get a little bit of a reposition here on Tiger. Not sure if they know where each other are just yet, but they're about to meet face to face here as Tiger shoots down the door in mid. Trying to draw Cause out, trying to get them to make that mistake. Hendog holding the angle, gets the shot off. Very nice on him. Alex down, showing signs very similar to Django on the previous half.
Into a 5v4 with 40 seconds left, and I think Tiger and Cause kind of are playing with each other here. They know where they are.
Oh, but Tiger plays that flash to a perfect. His teammate got that flash off. Envy as well now, taking out Hendog. We're back to a 3v3 here. Tiger taking out Cause. And we've got Predator on a little bit of an advantage coming in here. Although, as I say that, Justice comes in and takes out the rest. They've got a 2v1 trying to take down site. Dunk Sarah is going to hang out in the back of side here, trying to get something done. Full health and a Phantom. The flash goes out and he peeks out, not seeing anything yet. The time goes the better. He throws out his molly here, trying to get as much as he can. The knife goes out, but he's going to get flashed from peek from both sides. The molly goes in, but it was a little early. And Justice are able to get a third round on the half. Keeping it flawless in the second half here.
Justice really coming out with that site retake as they came in and just kind of, again, slowly took their time and cleared every corner before making their push onto site. They knew how much time they had left, and they knew how to deal exactly with what the situation was. And Dunk's there just in boathouse, which is either the best place to be or the worst place to be, and there's really no in between. And it kind of looked like it was a rough place for him to be there in the end.
It is a tough place to be, especially in a 2v1. You don't want to be there being able to get peeked by two people here.
looking like it's more of a mid push here from Justice, which
looks like we are having quite a lot of presence in here from mid, but now that I see that, I look back and the spike is still sitting in their spawn. I assume they know they've done that.
could be
The announcer would have told them.
Oh no.
But it's not seeming like it's gonna matter as Predator X is getting as many kills as they can in mid. Finally, they have their Omen run back Envy running back in to get that spike, and they are finally gonna go and take at least some sort of pressure on this A site. Although by this point, the rest of Justice has arrived, and they don't have much of an advantage on this A site at all.
Blinding.
Oh, and just as Predator X
30 seconds left.
They have to turn around just as fast as
One
Justice
enemy
finally says
remaining.
where they're going. Alexander taking one.
Alexander gets one and looking for the other. Doesn't realize that he's crossed over onto the other side of heaven already. Hendog doing what he can, trying to hold on to this streak that Justice has. Not looking so hot and looking like he probably will, in fact, want to save that op. The economy is looking like that. So, looks like Hendog is going to attempt to save this op. And we're looking at 11-5 going into this. That's I don't know. I'm not sure I like that for Justice. It makes me a little nervous. They were on this streak, but 11 rounds is tough. It is.
It's tough indeed, and definitely coming off a streak. I know when I'm coming off a hot streak, especially when I'm this close to the end of the game, I'm a little worried because I don't know if the hot streak is going to get stopped just because of one round, or if it was just a hiccup and we can get right back on track or not. And I think Justice is just trying to double down and be ready for whatever's going to get thrown at them as Predator X sets up closer to this A side now. Interestingly enough, it doesn't look like Justice is playing super heavy on A side. They're betting, I think, a little bit more on a B push. So Predator X might have an easy time taking this site.
They might have an easy time if they did choose to run right in. Now that ult is going to get them a lot of information, show them that the site is completely clear. And Envy is going to get an aggressive teleport into heaven. Unfortunately, he does get taken down by Hendog. And Predator are going to try and do what they can to take it through heaven. Dunkzera now in hell. Now the counter fade ult is going to come in through. Kaz clearing out Cat, making sure they aren't going to get flanked here. And Justice is setting up for this retake.
There. One enemy.
General Hooray just taking their absolute, just running through it. Dunkzera able to get a really nice spray down on 2 before getting taken down himself. Justice not able to get that flawless, as I said, Dunkzera, but Justice really nice to hold that off, hold off that 12th round once more. Going to 6-11.
I think it may have just been a hiccup, and I think we're seeing some really good plays here. Maybe that site retake ended up being exactly what they needed, as the game of Valorant turned into just a game of deathmatch. The 5v5 on site as they were fighting. Again, another timeout coming out.
It does seem like they are trying to play that game mode. Now, it looks like Predator, again, taking a timeout. This is interesting. They do seem to be... This one I do understand a little bit more. You know, they're having some trouble on this attacking site. They've lost now 4 rounds in a row. All they need to win is 2 more to win this half, and they should have it in the bag. Being up 10-2 at the half, they should be expecting this best of 1 to be in their favor. So I can understand a timeout here for sure.
Yeah, and I think over on Justice side, we're just trying to keep morale up as it is getting close. I mean, anything can happen. It's not over yet, but I think on Justice side, it's a little edge of your seat gameplay, and over on Predator Gaming side, it's just a little more, let's try and fix a few things as we go in, and Justice is still hanging on by the seat of their pants and really trying to get some stuff done. Just keep morale up, I think, is the most important thing for Justice.
Morale indeed, but you know, seeing their opponent pull out a timeout, especially in a game like this, I'm sure that brings up morale, honestly. Knowing that they were on a streak enough to force them to pull off a timeout, I would say that's pretty good feeling indeed.
Marked one.
Oh,
Just
these
as here.
fade lineups.
We like the fade lineups, we do.
Any lineups are fun to see, but these fade lineups, since they're new, they're a lot funner to see. Just because, ooh, where's this one gonna go?
Indeed, and I'm still trying to figure out exactly how that stuff works. Where on top of rooftops Fade can really be operating, and we've seen that a lot in some of these pro players, some of these Immortal players as well.
Predator X is leaning more towards B here, which Hendog is kind of the only one on B side here. So if they decide to get aggressive, Justice is going to have to make a mad dash over to B side, or otherwise Hendog's going to be there all by himself, and we're about to find out if he can do this.
And while the B push comes in here, Django is pushing in through mid, trying to get something off. Hendog not getting the shot off. Dunk Sarah capitalizing on that. Alexander getting knifed out. Unfortunately, that KO is going to stop that rocket from going off. That is very unfortunate. Alexander not able to get that showstopper off.
Can't use that.
30 seconds left.
But Predator X has the big advantage here, and Django on the flank does get one in mid. What a nice shot. Spooky trying to get something through the wall. And his teammate does get one, but Alexander trades that out. Alexander going for more. And Predator X holding that site with ease, going to 12
Match point.
and trying to take this best of one for themselves.
I think that timeout ended up being exactly what Predator Gaming needed to get whatever it was fixed, and they're coming back out and they're starting to take these rounds again. And if I'm Justice, I think we just hold side as best we can and take the picks we can. Don't get over aggressive. Don't get greedy. Does look like Predator Game is going to be doing a little bit more of a default setup. Might be more of a mid to A push though.
Looks like it could be all over the place. We do have this Fade peeking with the spike, where it gets a little dangerous, although not peeking in an aggressive angle indeed. Hendog doing what he can with this operator, but if we go to the other side of the map, Tempest getting taken out by Alexander, and the rest of Predator X deciding, you know what, it's time to take this A site like we heard Musi talk about in the pre-round. Kaz getting flashed out by the Omen smoke, or by the Omen. And here come Predator X, but Kaz going huge, getting a two pick off the flash from his KO. The KO is still alive in there, and the rest of Justice are gonna grew up in tree. Hendog getting a nice pick with his ult there, bringing it down with 3v2 and giving his team a chance here. Alexander now seized out, getting punched out. Gets a little bit of damage, but
Enemy
Envy
remaining.
takes out Hendog. Now it is just Spooky Justice left, but Envy, sorry, that is a mistake. Envy now down with 1 health. It is just him versus General Ray, and Envy takes him out with 1 health, brings it in, and takes the game for Predator X.
The 1 HP clutch. He does the fake TP, which confuses, and then he just peeks out. He has 5 bullets to his name, 1 HP, and he just taps heads, and he just takes the round of the 1 HP clutch. Amazing from Predator Gaming, and GG's.
GG's indeed. Now that was quite the game from us. Now we will be right back with you guys to get this last game in for our final game of the day. Thanks so much. Be right back.
Elo. And we are back with our final match of the day. We have Predator X Gaming back at it again. And this time they're going to be playing Elo.
Elo, yes, indeed. And we were told specifically their team name is Elo. They wanted us to emphasize the low part because they have low Elo.
How many times can you say Elo in one
No.
sentence?
Low indeed. But we hopefully will hope that their low Elo does not hurt them against this Predator X team.
My brain hurts. Elo. Elo. Anyway,
Now,
the game is
Hugh,
starting, and
the
we
game
are
is
playing
starting.
on Bind.
Bind indeed. Now, I love a good bind just as much as I love a good ascent. You know why I like that? Because it's not one of those newfangled maps with all those weird gimmicks. It's just got those classic teleporters that we all grew up with. Love that stuff.
I am a fan of some of the newer maps. Not Breeze, but definitely ones like Fracture and Pearl is shaping up to be a good map in my mind too. But Bind will always be one of my favorite maps in the entire game. So I am excited to see what we do on Bind here.
And looking at these team comps for our bind teams, looking back over at Predator X, they're going again with a very similar comp they had last. They're debating between a second initiator or another smoker. I could see either doing well for them. On the other side, Elo is definitely still deciding where they want to go. We have that Raze locked in, but elsewhere, it seems like we're debating between Chambers and Smokes and Skies. I don't know. I mean, I'm liking what I'm seeing.
In
As
either
the
case,
lock-ins
on
come
both
in.
teams, we're seeing a Brimmy with a Stimmy, and I love it. I think Brim needs a little more love every now and then, especially
Choose
on
your
Bind. I think
agent.
Bind is one of the better maps to play Brimstone on, just because it's closer quarters and you can do more with his iPad.
You are not wrong. Brimmy does have quite the advantage on this map as opposed to some of the other smokers. Now, we are going to get that fade locked in on by Donda, so that is going to change it as well. So now, once again, we have a very similar looking team setup as we did in our last game. One player off. This time, though, the comps are opposite a little bit. With the fade on Elo, gives them a little bit more information, whereas the Viper on our Predator X team will give them quite a bit more ability to push into certain angles and really cut up those sites. I'm very excited to see how Predator X and Elo compete in this game.
Double smokes is always interesting to watch because there's so much less visibility on site, especially with a smoker like Viper who has her very big wall, and then Brimstone with his 3 smokes, and it just ends up making so little visibility, and then it just watching people pass each other in smokes. It's so fun to watch. But as we get set up, we're going to see Elo heading closer to A site for the first push, which I think generally I like to push A on attack first as well.
Well, they are going in alphabetical order, which we do like to see, but what they are also doing is pushing in as a big rush. Here they come through this A main Alexander trying to get a little info in showers, but there is nothing there. He's going to look back around now, and here comes the other Rays coming in, trying to take some space in U-Haul. Now, Tiger is going to get that first blood off onto Donda. Going to take that one out. The fade is going to be a huge pick here on that pistol round. Envy trying to hold this U-Haul site, battling it out with Hijacker. Terrace gets it off in showers, and Envy gets it off in U-Haul, so we're trading back and forth still. Envy's got an angle on two of them, but isn't able to get either of them yet. Does get taken out themselves. No, sorry, doesn't get taken out themselves. The Knight is the one that's taken out a bunch, but then gets taken out themselves, and then it's now Terrorist all by themselves. Flashing out here, doesn't get the pick, does get the pick on it, and Envy is the last. Envy gets taken down. So we're back down to Terrorist versus Django, but Django holds it strong. 3 shots on the Sheriff. That Headhunter does work, and Django gets that first round for Predator X Gaming.
Just barely with 19 health. It came down to a nail biter on the first round already, and we saw Pred X playing back like they did last time. They weren't really getting too aggressive, weren't pushing out more than they should, and Elo did a really good job of like pushing in and making sure that even though they were holding farther back on site, they still took space. And taking space, it seems like on PXG is going to be really crucial to winning.
Yes, taking space on Predator X is going to be huge, because if they're feeling pressured, you know, they're going to make mistakes. But here we go now, as Elo is going to try another bit of a fast push. They're going to slow down a bit outside of Huko, just wanting to get prepared here. They do get flash, so Predator X does have that information, and Elo not deciding to push just yet. They wanna scope this out a little bit. But now Elo comes in, Hijacker going over the top, but getting taken down. But Terrace coming up and holding that site down. The rest of Elo has now brought themselves onto site, and they have an advantage 4v3 going into this post plant here. They they haven't gotten the spike down just yet. Maybe got pushed off by Envy's Molly there. Tiger evening this up. And Predator X just running through this team. Donda's the last one left, but gets jumped on by Indy. Predator X taking that site with ease, just running around him. Very nice.
See, Elo taking it 2-0, which is
Predator X.
Elo
Predator
getting set up, and they're gonna go towards. Looks like they're actually doing a split push here. Oh no! We're going more towards A, which seemed to be working for them.
Oh, but look at our friend Alexander in there, sitting in U-Haul with a shorty, expecting that push. Predator on a bit of a save here, even though they are up 2-0. Trying to make something work with these low weapons. Ooh, Tiger getting a nice pick off on Donda, but Knight somehow getting around and getting that pick off. Alexander isn't able to help his team with this shorty here. He's not able to peek at all. Jordy killing more on site as Alexander continues to hold. He does get one down, so Hijacker goes down. But Alexander now pretty helpless in here. Can't leave U-Haul with that shorty. Django here to take that site, and Jordy gets taken down. Now Knight takes out Django in heaven, and we're back to a 2v2 here. Knight trying to hold this out. He does have his teleport out, so he can get out indeed, but there's nobody peeking him just yet. He's going to try and peek through U-Haul, see what he can get, see if he can support his teammate. His teammate flashes out again. He gets that info, but Alexander takes out Terrace, and it is now just left to Knight himself. He's sitting in showers. He has the angle on him, but he doesn't want to peek it just yet. He wants to keep his time. Here he goes for the peek. Dunk Sarah on the default. He waits. Knight waited a long enough time. He got to half, but did he wait long enough? He didn't wait long enough. He had to get that kill a little bit earlier, or that defuse would have come in. I don't know if he could have played that well.
Just a bit of a timing there. Alexander wasn't looking in the way of showers, and he peeks out and he gets the pick, and fortunately Alexander was able to whip around fast enough to get the shot off and finish defusing the spike.
And Predator X are keeping that lead that they started back all the way back in round 1, as most teams do when they don't lose a round.
You want to play? Let's play.
Elo getting set up, it looks like, to do another A push. Spike is definitely leading towards A as well as numbers. Seeing some util get thrown out. I think this double initiator setup is definitely helping them take the space that we were talking about a little bit earlier. And looks like it's just a fake. We're headed back over to B, and PredX is just not wavering on which site they're holding. They know they might be going around different places, and it looks like Django's gonna find out right about now.
Predex has not moved at all. Django is going to continue to hold this and get assisted by his Sky here. Django, we know he's good with that op. He's continuing to try and hold it as the rest of Elo is going to start pushing in through Hookah. Here comes Hijacker with the judge, gets absolutely taken out. Dunked on by Dunkzera. Dunkzera continuing to hold this. Shorty trading it out, so now we're back at even numbers. Dunkzera climbed on, hanging out, but the judges are now working out for Elo. Knight, the last one left, has 2 picks off of that ult. Maybe he could do something. But a 2v1 with the ult, with the Spike very far away, this is going to be tough for him.
Yeah, we're just back down here to Knight being the final person. He's about to walk into the crosshair of Alexander.
Alexander didn't spot him there. Now Knight, not sure what to do. He's got his ult out, but he's switching guns. Alexander catches the timing. And Predator X move on to 4.
Knight, he switched guns, and right as you pulled out your knife, and it was just, timing is a huge thing in this game, and it gets me almost every time.
It does indeed. We happen to see that a lot in our definitely plat games that we play in.
For sure, definitely up there in plat. But as the round starts, we see Elo hanging out outside A again. We might see this little fake they did on B, or we might see a little bit of a push. I'm hoping we see more of a push on A, as Predex is leaning more towards Shower. They might be able to take just enough space to get plant down and really get a hold of site there before anything bad happens.
PXG really trying to take a lot of space towards Shower, but now they are backing off. That being said, the chamber on Elo is starting to push up, this back and forth coming in. Now what I'm looking at here as Tiger gets his first kill is PXG is having their chamber go on a little bit of a flank here. Django is coming around. As Envy takes out more that are coming through, Donda gets another, so we're back to about 4v5 strength there. But Chamber still on the flank. Donde taking the teleport as Elo are going to get away, but Django coming into that flank. There he is. I was talking about him earlier. He comes around the other side. And I'm not even sure where that came from.
Oh, no.
I've got your trail.
I think there's a little bit of faith in who was watching who's back there. It's now down to a 2v2, and Django's with his op back down in B long.
Planted. 1 enemy remaining.
Dunkzera taking out Elo Terrace, and all we have left is our friend in that tube. Jordy trying to make something work, but Django not letting him go, using that Hunter to take him down.
Django is definitely the operator of this team, and I guess as a chamber should play, but he's really getting some work done with that operator for his team.
And would you look at that, Predator X Gaming deciding to take a timeout. It almost seems like they're doing this to spite the casters.
Oh, it could be despite the casters. It could also be just a little bit of a just a power move over Elo, trying to get him to sweat it out a little bit, just using the timeout strategically to take any kind of heat that they or momentum they might have been getting and just shut it down for a second, make them sit there and think about what they do. And
sit there and think about definitely makes me think about it. You know how it is, we're looking at a black and white screen here. It really makes me think of the olden days, back in the 1940s, when our parents had to be playing Valorant by candlelight. They were playing Valorant by candlelight, and they didn't have all these fancy gadgets like aim labs and Kovacs. They had to learn to train their aim on a speed bag like every other boxer out there.
Speed.
Yes. You don't know this, but that's what they did.
Back when it was still called Project A.
Oh, this was before it was called Project A.
Oh,
This is
Project.
this is. Oh, the joke I had went far into the ground, and we're gonna leave it at that as this round gets started.
No.
As our good friends Elo Hijacker and Elo Terrorist decide to duke it out in Showers. Tiger taking out Hijacker though, really holding down this Showers position as much as he can, and now he's got Django there to assist him. Knight and Terrorist are still going to try and do what they can to push through once this Molly goes down. But Brimmy using that stimmy. Knight, though, taking Django down. Ooh, what a shot.
Chambers fighting. Tiger picking up that op. I think he's just going to try and hold Showers there and keep any forward progress from happening as his team either rotates or they figure out what they're going to do. But right now would be the time to take it as Brimstone is the only one on site as of right now for Predator X, and Viper still in short, and Elo's still looking like they're trying to figure out what they're going to do, if they're going to push or not. So, it's probably a dangerous as Viper is still ulted near sight.
So here's the thing. Elo have waited a long time. They think that waiting for this rotate has pulled some rotations maybe over to or toward B, but they don't know how pushed up PXG are. The fact that PXG are pushed up so far, PXG knows exactly what's about to happen. This push, they are prepared for it. As Knight goes in, PXG are just going to let them have this site and going to play for a full retake.
Tiger trying to pick up the round.
Envy trying to push out of his own smoke. Doesn't really get it. But Knight gets another pick off and looks like Elo are going to try and take this first round. Alexander, though, going off on Knight. Alexander getting another on Jordy. Really taking these teams by surprise. Alexander now trying to go more through U-Haul. Doesn't get the flick off. And Terrorist getting the Renegon on him. Switching the gun now. And Tiger's going to be the last one left. Gets the smoke off. Tries to tap it. Causing the smoke. But no. Terrorist spams through the smoke. And that is the first round for Elo. Low.
It looks like that timeout might have helped out Elo and give them a chance to strategize to figure out what they're going to do, because they finally got down, and once they got on site, they were a little bit iffy about Tiger having that op up there in heaven, not quite sure what to do about him, but in the end it still worked out as he was the last one alive and had to defuse Spike. But now we see Elo leaning towards B, getting ready to do a B push. I'm hoping we see something similar that we did on A site, but this time over on B.
Yes, and we are seeing Hijacker lead that pack. Django getting spotted out and immediately teleporting back. He did get tagged up a little bit, but not enough to really cause too much of an issue. Now Alexander does get flashed out here, trying to peek down B long. But he's going to tuck back into Cubby here, making sure to stay safe. A really nice nade from Alexander, keeping that space and keeping them out of hookah, just stopping them a little bit lower. But look at that, PXG have not fully rotated yet. They are staying over on that A site.
PXG defense is definitely similar to a steadfast rock, not moving. They do not go until they know for sure that it is going to be that site, and most of the time they execute their retakes very well.
But Alexander knows what's going on. He gets a beautiful shot, sending Terrorists back in through that teleporter. Oh no, he did. What a beautiful pick, and backs off with such discipline. Now the rest
30 seconds left
of Elo are trying to see what they can do. Blocked off by this Viper Molly. Jordy is now going to use that ult. Clearing Showers out, but Django holding that angle with very tight. Elo Hijacker doing what he can, gets Django down. That's a big pick. Are they able to get Dunks there? That's big as well. Hijacker getting Alexander as well. Envy trying to spam through it, but isn't able to get it. Oh no, they're both out of ammo. This is spaghetti. So much spaghetti. Envy not seeing where Hijacker Dande was. Has a great angle on it, but just gets away. Alright, Envy here on this 1v1. Clutch takes down Dande, and now knows where the last one is. He knows he's got the showstopper, so he's going to try and bait it out just a little bit. He's got to wait it out. Dande, or Hijacker, is holding this as much as he can. He's going to fire it towards the spike. Not going to get anything, and now Hijacker has to play this. He hears him on site, so now Envy has to do what he can. He's going to try and stick it, but that is a mistake. Hijacker holding steady, using that showstopper, and taking the round for himself. What a clutch from Hijacker.
Hijacker really pulling out that showstopper for round security, as sometimes an ult is used for it. Round security is a very important thing. Unfortunately, Envy knew that if he just waited out, he had enough time to get it out. So the showstopper didn't do much but to push him off. But it did stress him out just enough to try and stick the spike a little too long, and Hijacker was able to get that pick in the very end.
Hijacker using that ult very well to delay as much as he can. As much as he could, excuse me. But we are on to the next round. Elo doing what they can. Alexander getting that pick. Was that through a smoke? I think it was.
Smoke indeed. Smoke indeed. And we see, I'm wondering if Elo is starting to get a little momentum build up, and it's starting to snowball, and might see a few more rounds taken here, and it might end up being a little morbid.
We'll see what happens, but if that starts to happen, Predator X gonna feel very bad about using that timeout earlier, realizing that they actually stopped the snowball on themselves. Knight with a beautiful flick. Holding this in, does not want to let Elo lose this round. They're going to keep holding on. They have a free site, but they don't know it yet. Here they go on the site. If they keep pushing, they'll have it for free. As Django pushes up into the back of site, trying to see what he can get.
Teleport's
Go
ready.
back at it again with the op, as he's been doing for a
Spike
while now,
planted.
clearing out the long angles that he can. For his
Oh, Alexander with an amazing flank. He gets one, he gets two. He's on for the ace as he goes for more. Knight takes out another, but he takes out Alexander. Knight's having a brilliant round as well. Dunkshare is going to peek around, trying to flash out. He does flash Knight out, so Knight's going to have to back off. But Knight's here. He's holding Dice down, and now he's got another angle on the spike. Terrace getting the flash off. He gets one, but he doesn't get it. Knight is on for the ace here. Here he goes against Dunkshare. He's got to get the flick off. He gets it. What's an amazing ace for Knight.
Of course you do. They are so dead.
That he takes it. He throws out the ult. He doesn't need it. He bought his own op, but he aces with it. Knight, beautiful. And so much happened that round. Alexander comes for the flank, gets the 3K, and Knight then takes out Alexander, and just so much happened that round.
But he wasted the ult. It would have been a clip, but he wasted the ult. How unfortunate. At least they got the round. Hopefully he can continue. He still has his op, so he can continue to use that. But what a play from Knight. I mean, aces on both sides. But we're on to round 9. Elo using that confidence from the last round to start pushing up on this B site, seeing if they can make something work. Tiger getting ready. What a weird place to use that ult. Just trying to space that out. Doesn't able to catch anybody else. And here comes Elo coming through that B long.
You can definitely tell there's new fire in both of these teams after that round. Just the craziness of everything that happened, and you know both of them are playing for keeps now.
Absolutely. Everybody knows what can happen. Both of the operas on this team now known as a danger. We'll see if Elo shows the same respect to Django as they've been, as other teams have in the past. Elo now deciding there is too much going on this B site. They're going to try and back off, try and cause some rotates. Not going to leave completely, though, as they start pushing towards Hookah. Going to stay on this B site, getting ready for this push.
30 seconds left.
Tigers and Hookah all by himself with the Sheriff. It is a little bit worrisome, but they're rotating over to A site, and they have a little bit of a man advantage here.
They have a man advantage, but they are not peeking these angles. Predator X not wanting to show it. Knight using the op and taking that supremacy with him. Elo are flawless through this. Jordy taking out another, and there are only 2 left. Both with low pistols, not able to do a whole lot. Let's see if Envy can get a headshot here. Does not get the flick off. Terrace takes that one out, and we are left Dunkzera to do some sort of heroics. Does get blinded. It's going to have to back off. Doesn't seem like it's going to be too doable for him here. And Elo take their 4th round, closing it to a very tight lead in favor of Predator X.
they showed some presence on B, and I think PredX was ready for the B push, and then very like almost exactly last second, Elo decides to run over to A, and like I said, they got that main advantage. They got spiked down, they got set up, and they just held sight, and there was nothing PredX could really do to take that back, especially with the guns that they had there.
Not a whole lot indeed. And now Elo trying to do what they can to get this 5th round, to bring this tie in. Lots of presence shown towards Hookah, seeing if they can pull out anything, see if they can spot anybody before they make a big push. But there are 2 in Hookah waiting for them. Tiger gets 1, but gets traded out. Hijacker doing what he can to get that trade. They get the spike back and are gonna reposition.
Both smokes are out for both teams, so it's going to be a pretty open round for the rest of this round at least. Do see a terrorist has his ult. He could pop it, find out where they are, see where they're leaning, but it does look like this is going to be more of a B push.
I've got your trail.
Spike down.
Dunkzera getting a very important kill out of Hookah. Now trying to dog, seeing what he can, has to jump out because he's afraid of that grenade. A good call, and Alexander is now here to help him. Uh-oh, Alexander having a little bit of trouble with that, but being safe here now. Dunkzera going up against Knight. Here comes the op, trying to make something work here. Isn't scoped in and gets it. Oh, does not get that flick. As Dunkzera takes out Knight, that's a big pick for the side of PXG. Oh, they've got somebody coming in from both sides. That's no good. Django comes in with a flank, and Predator X taking back that round and taking back control of the half.
Definitely closer, especially now that the first half is coming down to an end. And I'm wondering, are we going to see a tie here? We just see a little bit of a we just see an 8-4. What do you think, Peanut?
I'm looking for that 6-6 curse, because that means we're cursed for overtime. It's not a curse for the players, it's a curse for us casters. That's what I'm looking for.
I personally wouldn't mind a little overtime. It always gets more exciting because tensions are high and everybody has already played a full game and everybody's sweating, and it's really coming down to the nitty gritty of it all.
We like overtime because we like content.
Which we see Elo doing more of an A push here, and you think we see their little fake as they rotate back very last second?
I don't know, but Django wants to get aggressive with here. His teammates are telling him to stop, but he wants to peek this. Here he goes. He's going to peek into 1. Oh, 2! Oh, my God! What a shot! What an incredible shot from Django. He lines up that timing, gets it perfect, and sends Elo running. Oh, my goodness. I think it was 2 shots, and the first one went through the first guy. What? Just unbelievable. If only we had replays.
There have been some amazing chamber plays on both sides this game. I love
there have been. And Elo here trying to do what they can, but they are cornered in the back here. Donde wants to save this up. Does get 1, so a little bit of damage to the economy, but that's not going to mean much for the side of PXG. They've got enough money that they can buy Tiger for this lap. In fact, Tiger can buy themselves. Actually, it is Elo, in fact, who are really going to be struggling on this buy. Not going to be able to get an operator, really anything for this round. In fact, it's going to be quite tough for the side of Elo to make this a 7-5 half.
And for this last round in the half, we see this B push. We have seen some interesting B pushes from Evo. They kind of tend to hang back here.
Prepare for hellfire.
Now comes Brimstone ult.
Brimstone ult, as the rest of Elo are now going to push up on this B site. They are showing a ton of presence here. But this ult from Dunkzera is going to be good. The Fade ult is back and forth. The ults are trading each other out. They're not really going to be able to, they're just kind of sticking each other in here. Elo is going to do their best to pull out, but Indy's getting huge picks, does eventually get taken out. But Dunkzera holds it down for them. 8-4 half. I mean, that just, once again, we see a bit of dominance coming out on the side of Predator X Gaming.
Definitely, it was last round, and last round is definitely the time to just dump every bit of utility and ult you have, and we saw that there as the Fade ult came through, and then the countered Sky ult, and there was a smoke in the way, and then people were pushing in, people were pushing out, and it was a whole bloodbath, but it was a good half, so good half to both teams. Now as we switch, Elo is now on defense, and Predex will start their attack. What do you think we see from Predex on attack here? Oh, we have a bit of a tech pause, I see, actually. So. All right, so we have a tech pause. It looks like we're having a bit of an audio issue, but that gives us a little bit of time. Oh, we have a fix. We're back, actually. Okay.
Would you believe me if I said I was muted?
I was wondering. I was talking to the void there for a second, so I figured something was going wrong.
It's quite unfortunate indeed, because I really did have some good points, but all good there. I'm glad you held your own in that half, and we're back onto this. We're back onto this half.
Happen when you're muted.
They really do. They really do. I had lots of points and lots of really strategic things. I might even be radiant at this point, but no proof to you guys.
Wisdom, but unfortunately, we will not be privy to it. But there is a game going on.
A game going on indeed, and Knight does get that headshot. What a beautiful headshot from him. He is able to take that off, and Django trying to do something else. Now PXG on a little bit of a disadvantage here on attack. They don't usually play like that, and they are not sure what to do on this pistol round.
Predex definitely good with their defense on holding back, but unfortunately that doesn't work as well on attack. You do have to take some space here.
Knight getting another nice angle.
Ooh.
Elo trying to see if they are in fact going to push onto this site. Not so sure yet. That slight hesitation is going to give PXG the rest of this site. Terrace trying to do what he can, but he's getting peeked by both. Oh no! Envy gets a tag on Jordy, and Hijacker gets a tag on Tiger. We're decked down to a 2v1. Elo, Terrace has to do what they can. Envy all by themselves. Oh my goodness! Hijacker with a very nice flick right click. And Elo take the first round of the half.
Do you think that pistol round is a good prediction of what's going to happen for the rest of the game?
Not at all. No. All the pistol round does is gives you an advantage going into that second round. But if you can capitalize on that second round with whatever buy you have, as we see here, Elo is crazy buying up here with these shotguns. But if they're able to win this, hold on to those guns, I mean, they could snowball. It really depends. Skill-wise, I truly believe those pistols to be 50-50.
50-50 maybe, but it definitely helped out Elo, especially at least, if nothing else, in the scoreboard of just taking an easy round there, so to speak, before the real fight begins. And Tiger smoking off a trademark, which is interesting to do because now Chamber doesn't really know if anybody's pushing through or not.
He doesn't know, but he seems to assume it. Now he does know, and Knight is very excited to use this Killjoy Shorty to his advantage. Predex seem to expect this, though, and are going to back off.
Hijacker is a judge. That's your favorite gun, Peanut.
It is my favorite gun. As we've mentioned, in our plat games, we like to use judges. We like to use all the good guns in the game. And Hijacker is showing just how well that gun works.
Not much aggression from either team, really. Everybody's just kind of hanging back, waiting to see what the other one's going to do. Everybody spread it across.
Oh, what a molly. It does block off Jordy, and Jordy gets pushed out, but on the other side of the map, Donda does take out
30
Envy.
seconds left.
And so we are going to be back to even Steven's strength here. Looks like we, I was thinking that maybe we would get a teleport coming out from the side of Predator X, but looks like, well, we are getting a teleporter, but not on the side that I was expecting. Alexander teleports over from A. And he's going to stay inside the teleporter. Does he get this kill? He does get the one, and DuckZera gets the one on site. And all that's left is Donda. Donda gets one, another one through the smoke. He didn't even know that one was there. And he gets a third. Donda, whatever your name is, that was an unbelievable play. Getting a spray through the smoke that he didn't even expect.
Sweating.
I'm speechless, which is not good for a caster. But at the end of the day, I think PXG took just a little too much time finally committing to a site and getting that spike down. So when they were there, they were kind of rushing and trying to just get on site and take control as fast as they can, and it just led to a few slip-ups here and there and some grouping together that Elo was able to capitalize on and take the round. It's now 8-6, and we're seeing some great stuff here from Elo on defense.
We are seeing some real resilience from this Elo team. I mean, absolutely fantastic, even knowing how sad they must be being a low Elo squad.
Prepare for hellfire.
Depending on how this game goes, they might need to change their name to E-High.
Exactly. All jokes here on the casting desk as Alexander goes in. Here he goes with the Vandal, taking out the hijacker with the Judge. The Judge is not a good weapon. According to Knight, oh my god, what's going on? He gets taken out, but he got 3 kills.
Last player standing. Spike down A.
I don't even know. DuckZera does get one, but Donduwe takes another. Off the back of Knight. Oh my goodness.
It's now 8-7. If you've known me for any amount of time, you know that Raze is my least favorite character in the game. In fact, I hate may be a strong word, but I might hate Raze just a little bit for the exact reason that Alexander just displayed there. Satcheled into lamps, and before anybody knew what was going on, he was getting picks. And just, there's nothing you can do to stop it because it's forward motion, and even with a Judge couldn't sniper him out of the air.
It's a fair point there. All your hate to Raze, I mean, you've been saying it since the beta. I don't know what to say about it. I think you just don't like her. Maybe she did something to you. Who knows? Hijacker throwing out that one of your favorite nades, seeing what he can get. He's had some very good luck with that. Now the rest of Elo seems to know that this push is going to come in towards this A site. Alexander going in with the Sheriff, almost getting the pick off, but can't seem to land the headshot. Jordy getting 2, eventually getting taken down by DuckZera, but Hijacker coming in to clean that up. Django is still alive with that Headhunter. Truly don't know if he has used any other weapon besides the utility that Chamber has. As Elo have the advantage now and have even the man advantage. And oh my gosh, I didn't even realize the spike. The spike is in U-Haul.
Spike is in U-Haul, you think? Now the question is, does Elo know about that? Oh, it does look like it.
I would say they definitely know about it. Seeing how they're playing around this, their Chamber here, yes, is playing there. Knight knows exactly where Django can peek. And Elo are preparing themselves to get this tie, this 8-8 tie. They are looking for this. As an Amber Alert happens in the undisclosed location that Amuzi lives, Hijacker cleans this up and ties the game. 8-8. What an incredible comeback we are seeing from Elo.
And a tie game we see, and Elo's brought it back, giving PXG a little bit taste of their own medicine on defenses.
That works.
Oh, we get it back. 8-8. I'm excited to see where we go from here because now it's anyone's game. We've reset it. We're on track for that overtime that I wanted. And it looks like PXG is going to set up for a default here. Looking for some picks.
He is looking for some picks. We have Chamber v Chamber violence about to occur. Knight just trying to peek out. Here they go. Who's going to win it? I thought it was Django, but Knight had the angle. Gets him through the wall. They both did get the shot off, actually. But Knight gets the pick a little bit higher and gets the bang indeed.
I've got your trail.
Watching a chamber fight's always fun because you know it's just gonna be a sniper match until the end.
It's an absolute sniper match, but Envy doing what he can. We have ults going left and right. Fade here, Viper here.
Enemy down.
Jordy does a lot of damage with that ult and with that spike, but PXG are now... Oh, excuse me, Envy taking down Jordy, and we are actually at a 2v2 here going into the end of this round. Terrorist wrapping around Tetris, seeing what he can get, and Tiger doesn't see him, but he gets the flick off in time on the low health Terrorist, and now it's just Knight to do what he can. He has this clutch, but this angle that the Viper is holding is just too dirty. Indy gets the spray through the box, and PXG win their first round of the half. They needed that.
Just goes to show you that a Viper pit can really just be the end of a round sometimes. Just you get set up, you get on site, and then you own everything in there. People walk in, enemies drop down to 1 health, and then it's just easy gaming. You sit back, you just play turret.
You do play turret. Excuse me, I am just laughing at chat. How sad of me indeed.
You want to play? Let's
Elo
play.
deciding to push up towards this hookah position. Django cleverly deciding to back up. Doesn't want to get spotted by that boom bot, but gets spotted in fact. Teleports out. I love this camera angle. Feels like I'm watching Chamber on security camera. As Alexander comes in, clearing the side out. Look at this. I know everything. Django comes around. Oh my goodness, what a shot. I think he was still walking. Knight gets a beautiful shot off on Alexander, showing Django that not the only opera on this map.
Knight's been getting some real work done with that operator, and you love to see, especially when there's 2 operas on both teams and they're both going at it, because it's just a whole rivalry between both chambers right now.
A rivalry indeed. You love to see those mirror match, see if there is a chamber diff, and looks like, there's a bit of a diff, but I mean, they've been playing very well against each other. I would say, I don't think there's a diff. I think they're just equal. I think that's how it works.
And equal matches. I mean, even with score, we've been seeing some equal matching. Oh, it looks like Knight's gonna get caught in that ult.
Exactly. When we are even Steven, it looks like we are going back to 4v4, but the chamber that is still alive still has his ult. Tiger gets pushed out by this Prowler, but stays up. Here comes another smoke from Tiger as he tries to stop these people from coming out CT. He gets seized and then spammed through the smoke. He was revealed by that Fade utility. Jordy getting one.
Remaining.
Does he get the other? He has to wrap around here. Sorry, Jordy does get taken out. It is just Hijacker, and they take him out. Django is the last one left. Excuse me for getting confused. Elo go to 9-9.
And we're starting to see this round for round game, which I love. It keeps you on the edge of your seat. You don't know what's going to happen next. Is PXG going to pull forward? Is Elo going to pull forward? We don't know because it's tied this whole game, and I'm loving it. I'm loving the energy in this game right now.
It really is showing that PXG is quite the resilient team, but they have to stay strong. That we saw 5-0 from them in the first half. But they haven't been able to hold on to that as much as we thought. This showing 9-9 here. I mean, Elo is really showing how well they can play defense on this map. It's quite incredible, and the streaks are continuing to happen.
We see Knight this time on A. It looks like they're switching it up every now and then. I think they're keeping PXG guessing on who's playing where, so they don't know exactly where to push and what to hold. And I think that's kind of becoming a little bit of a downfall for them.
Yes, and at the same time, PXG trying to change things up as well, looking to default around the map. Knight is getting banged there, maybe legged. Oh, and Alexander with a beautiful Kobe nade, taking him out. And Donda on the other side of the map, though, getting that lurk kill. And we are actually evening this up. Another nade seize combo, another kill for Hijacker. These grenades are doing way too much damage in this game.
coming down. The push is going to have to happen soon. There's only 45 seconds left on the clock, and we see PXG is still holding out on A side, so we know it's going to be a bit of more of an A push, and I think Elo's just waiting to see what's going to happen.
I'll find you.
Donda, after picking up that op, is going to peek into the showers, trying to see what they have left. Now this A main peek. Is this flash going to come out in time? Dunxero just barely dodging. And here comes the showstopper from Alexander, getting pushed off by the Rays. Things there, and oh, the rocket goes off. He misses. Dondaway is still alive. He gets the op shot off, taking out Rays before he get killed by that rocket.
One enemy remaining.
And Jordy helping his teammate out. All that's left. Dunxero goes down. Elo Terrace with the run and gun. And Elo taking their first lead of this game.
Elo has really come back, especially on attack. Especially when he was down, I think three at the half, and they brought it back to a tie, and then we went a little bit around for round, and now they've taken the lead, and we've really seen Elo turn it around. They're playing great tight, and they're playing. There's great teamwork going on here.
Anyone feeling generous?
Starting over here on PXG side. Looks like it's going to be somewhat of a split push. Brim's going with the spike over to A, and everybody else is going to be a bit of the default.
It was looking like a default, and then they turn around and go towards B, and then they decide, you know what? Timeout time.
Now, interesting enough, because this again was called by PXG. And we saw what happened last time PXG took a timeout. What do you think the teams are talking about right now, Peanut?
Well, it seems like they didn't plan on that happening, because I think if you're noticing here, the barriers have actually gone down. A weird mechanic that's happened in this game, the barriers have gone down, and so the timeout will end and the game will begin immediately instead of the timer. So this should be this should be like a Counter-Strike round, I guess. I'm not sure. But
a little more
PXG calling this timeout once again shows that they are using this timeout to try and stop the roll of their opponents. They don't want Elo to continue rolling them. And you know, especially since they just lost the lead for the first time in this game, PXG got to pull something out, or they're going to lose this game and lose the grand finals they've worked so hard all day for.
For sure. Seeing some Elo being thrown out by PXG, trying to gauge where enemies are, as always. And Elo just holding steadfast in their angles and getting ready for the fight ahead of them.
Now we have Knight once again, wants those kills, is thirsty for him, but isn't able to get it. Now it's going to take a different angle down B long, but the rest of PXG have not really pushed up just yet, as they are doing now.
Dedication. I think do you think they go for the teleport here, or do you think they're still going for this? Oh my god, Knight takes one.
I mean, depending on how they go from here. Django, though, holding that angle, that headhunt, knowing that you can beat the op down as long as you hit him in the head. Dondaway holding this site down, but Django, the trail of the kills are going back and forth. Each one, we are still at a 2v2 here. As things slow down, Elo throwing out the Brim ult to try and stop the plant from going down.
30 seconds left.
Hijacker is ready for this. He gets one. Does he get the other? Almost gets the spray. He gets the satchel, pushes him off, but he's not at low health. I thought it would be. This is Brim v Brim here. Jordy doing what he can, but doesn't get the flick off. And Tiger taking that tie game back.
Oh, we got the tie back, and like I said, we're going round for round, and this is the kind of games I like to see, as it's just, again, back and forth, and we see these teams are really starting to heat up.
Heat up indeed. Change my casting name to Indeed. Just feel like that would really set the mood for me and my casting abilities. But we see the rest of Predator X Gaming deciding to push towards Hookah, trying to show a little bit more aggression on this B site. They don't know that Knight is here with the op.
We said Knight now has a super op, and we've seen him do we've seen him do some amazing things with the op, and now I'm wondering, now that he has the tour de force out, what he can get done.
I've got your
Here
trail.
he is. He pushes it and tries to peek something into B long. Is gonna get pushed off by this flash and by these cabbages, and by I mean, I thought this was a gun game. I didn't realize there were abilities. Chamber gets pushed off the site as the rest of as Elo push in. Jordy gets a kill on Tiger, but it seems like Elo still have the advantage here.
One enemy remaining.
And Envy's the only one left, just doing what he can. He's trapped in that corner. Elo taking the 11th round for themselves, getting closer and closer to guaranteeing an overtime.
And we're starting to get down to where the rubber meets the road as people are playing way more aggressive, and we're trying to get more kills. And we saw Knight there with his using basically just utility for his weapons that round, starting to do what matters. I think PXG is doing a little bit of a save here to get ready for the final round, if anything.
You want to play? Let's play.
PXG wants to make sure that if they lose this round, they can continue holding Elo on that 12th round, pushing towards that overtime and giving us the content we are craving.
This is looking more like a push toward for PXG, in that Ray's Boombot is going to get a ping, so they know at least one person is here. Trying to push him off just a little more, make him panic, keep him off site for as long as possible. That way when they get on, they have to make some major moves.
No rotate to really come in for Elo yet. Elo staying disciplined with these pushes, knowing they've heard nothing on B site, so there's no reason to pull anyone over. Now Django has shown his position. Elo are knowing that they have to avoid this operator. Django gets a nice pick off on Donde, not expecting Django to be up there. As Alexander gets trapped in a smoke by C's. Hijacker taking out Envy.
A.
We're back to a 4v4, even
30
strength.
seconds left.
Django doing what he can, does get another pick off on Jordy. Using that up to the best of their ability. Oh, Django getting the shot off before the ult comes out, but still dying to it.
Spike planted.
You really get the shot off mid-air. Just show some great aim there from Django. Again, these chambers are going at it this game. Terra's taking a flash. They know where they are now. Spike's down. It's crunch time. Less than 45 seconds to get that thing defused.
They've wasted both of those flashes, but Alexander coming around the back. He has the flank, but he misses all of the shots. Oh, that was tragic.
Came down. Alexander had it. Just sometimes you get a little nervous and you take a shot too soon. You hold down the trigger button just a little too long, and just unfortunate there from Alexander. Just a little bit of a hiccup. But what do you think we're going to see here from PXG on the possible final round of this game?
PXG has to take a deep breath. They gotta be hoping they gotta be wishing they held that timeout, because I mean that was just an unfortunate spray. They gotta take a deep breath and they gotta say, look, this is one more round. We gotta hold them for two more. Just stay calm, boys, and stay collected to win this game.
I think Elo is just going to play super safe here as well. They know they're in a good position, and they're going to try and play safe here, not take anything that they don't need, and just try and secure the round for the win.
And Hijacker throwing out your favorite device, trying to get a little bit of damage off on Alexander. The entire lobby has rotated to the A site. We are looking at a possible last round 5v5 push towards the A site on Vine. Here we go as the trades come back and forth. 4v4. Hijacker's going to try and push the bomb with a judge, but isn't going to get it down. As PXG are taking a little bit of a lead here, but can't get the bomb down. Jordy's going huge. He's got one, he's got two, he's got three. He's got the last one looking towards U-Haul. It doesn't matter, it's a 3v1. As PXG try and do what they can, they've spotted the last player out, and it is all over. Jordy going huge in the final round. And Elo take the game against PXG.
What an amazing round from both teams. Some amazing games. PXG fighting till the end. We saw 10-13 is a